Hey everyone, welcome back to another scrapbook process video, and thank you for joining me again today. I am using up, I think this is the last layout that I do with this collection. And actually, I have the stamp here. Sorry if this is noisy, but yes, it is the Brie one. So I was correct in the last video. B-R-I-E. So this is from Felicity Jane. I'm going to pull off a double page layout with this one and going to get some of these older photos done. These photos that I'm going to be scrapbooking are of my daughter when she got her ears pierced for the second time. And I am taking some of the papers and making them smaller. I do believe that I'm following a sketch by Scrapbook Generation, and because it is a paid for sketch, I cannot show you this sketch, but you guys know that I use their collection or their sketches all the time. They are a go-to for me, and I highly recommend. I actually bought their sketchbooks a long time ago, and I took them apart and divided them by number of pictures. So all my sketches are in binders, and I did do a video about my sketch binders a long time ago, but they're pretty much the same. So I have a 1 photo, 2 photo, etc., and so on. So it's just easier. I do that because I definitely scrap a lot of photos. You guys know that, but on occasion I might just have. I think that there might only be 2 or 3, or 3 or 4 photos on this page, but I'm not exactly sure. Again, I did this quite a few weeks ago, but I just, and if you have extra photos, so if you have 5 photos, feel free to look at your 6 photo sketches and see where you can throw one in or cut them smaller, or look in your 4 photo sketches. You can always use sketches. You don't have to follow them exactly by what the sketch is. It's just however it inspires you. One thing I did just here in the video, and it's kind of a new thing that I've been doing, I have always kind of written the date down on a little post-it note. And I have had times recently with my mind not working so well. I think this staying at home, I don't know what it is, not sleeping normally. I think it's really getting to my brain, but I found a couple times lately where I just forgot to put the date on the layout. And since I had thrown away that post-it note at that point, I had no idea what the date was. So I either had to pull the photos up or go searching for it. So, duh, brain fart or, whatever. I decided one time not long ago that I would start writing the date on the back of the cardstock from the layout, and then it would always be there whether I added the date a year later or not. I just flip it over. So that might be a little tip for you if that's something you do as well. Now I'm showing you here, these are some border dies by Close to My Heart. I will check if they are available online. They were in last year's catalog. I do not know if they are still in the catalog. But like I said, a lot of times they will have things still available online. And it comes with more than just you see there, but I was just using these 2, and I can't remember exactly how many it comes with. But these are great. Again, when you're looking at dies and stuff, don't think you have to buy just punches if you're not a card maker. These are slimline border dies, or maybe they're even only 6 inches, made for card makers probably. But I have really, not only are these, you can make them as long as you want, but you can store these so much in such a smaller spot than you can border punches. So, and you can get quite a lot more designs from border dies. So you guys know that I've kind of really been into the metal die, and you're going to see I'm going to do some things I think coming up next year and making myself use more of my dies because I have them for a reason, right? So, but I'll talk more about that in a later video. But I just wanted to share those with you. And again, if those are still available, I will link them. If they aren't, I apologize, but they are really great dies. So if you have them, let me know what you think of them. In the one there, by the way, the smaller scallop one is, they have little hearts in them. And I want to say I showed them in a haul video once, but maybe I didn't. So now here's where I'm going to go with this. And I'm not going to stay with this. And what I mean by this is the black. I really thought there were some black kind of elements in with this collection. And I thought, hey, you know, I'm going to embrace that. I pulled out my black peel-offs. I'm going to look at black titles, and it's really going to throw me off. And it's going to make it, I was really enjoying this layout. It was coming together really good. But I'm going to get to a certain point and just realize I'm not liking it. So I'll talk about that more, I guess, as we come to it. But here again is another piece of those border dies. And all you have to do to cut these longer than whatever they are. In fact, I don't think these ones have an end. So they make it so you can be endless. You know, some border dies, you have to just make sure they're not in between the two plates when you cut them. But these border dies, they're so easy to line up. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is 5 photos, by the way. Anyways, so yeah, those border dies, they're really nice because you can just butt them up against each other or line the die up and keep cutting it. And you could have 2-foot long piece if you wanted. So just keep that in mind when you are shopping for something like that. Now I am adding photos to, you can see that I've gone ahead and I've added the black peel-offs, and I will say I have not heard of any free shipping. If I hear of free shipping from her, I will let you know. I have personally tried to reach out to her to try to work with her to set up an event so she can let me know when they're doing it, something like that, so that I can let you guys know. But I basically have to wait until I hear it through the grapevine, and then I let you guys know as soon as I can. So I'm just letting you know because I do have people ask about that on occasion. I would imagine, and I don't know, I'm hoping that around the holidays she has some kind of a free shipping, but I know it's been a while, but I also know that there is like a lot of shipping issues and a lot of supply issues. So I'm going to assume that she's not going to do a free shipping event for a little while until things kind of settle down a little, but I could be totally wrong. But I will let you know if I hear. So here is a spot. I really didn't think about this too much when I was doing this, cutting this paper with this border die, but it is hearts. And in the sketch, it has a border up along the top and it has a border down along the bottom, and it's the same kind of scalloped border. It's been a while since I've done this layout, but I'm pretty sure that I put this one down along the bottom still, even though it's hearts and the hearts are upside down. It doesn't bother me at all to do that. I don't think anybody's going to look at the layout and say, oh my gosh, those hearts are upside down. It's more the design element of the scallops, and it matches the top. So if I wouldn't have even, think about it for a second, if I wouldn't have told you those were hearts that are going to be upside down, would you have even noticed it? So don't be afraid to do something like that as well. Now, I'm hoping I put my video together. I did get a little mixed up with the order when I was adding some photos. The still shot photos at the end, they went into the video in the middle, so I had to kind of move things around. So I'm kind of hoping here that it kind of goes like it's supposed to. So, but here's another thing that I'm going to do that's kind of been a little bit fun for me lately, is pulling out some stamps. So you can see I didn't record all of it, but what I did was I basically, second generation stamping is what I think they call it, where you ink up your stamp and then stamp it off once and then stamp it onto your project the second time, and then it's not as dark. So I went ahead and did that. You can see all around that main box, and look at how that just kind of added that extra little bit of something and really framed in the entire layout. I think that just really made everything pop. So I'm working on my clusters. I have that fabulous U. I was chatting with a friend and trying to think of a title. I didn't want to do just like second ear piercing or something like that. I was just trying to think of, I don't know, something. And so then I pulled out any of my word stickers, the word thickers that are already like pre-made titles. I don't have a ton of them. And nothing that I did have was really standing out to me. I have this Fabulous U though, and I really like the Fabulous U. And one of the reasons I really liked it is because it went really well with the black of the peel-offs. And honestly, looking at it now, I kind of like it. I wish that I would have kind of left it, but I was struggling. You can see I've got that Fabulous, and it's not glued down, by the way, at this point in time. I have that title, and then I have that black heart on the left, but I needed something black over on the right-hand side is kind of the way I was feeling. You can kind of see where I'm thinking right now my clusters are going to go, playing around with those. Yeah, I just was kind of, the butterflies, these butterflies, some are from the kit as well. And then I pulled out, so since I needed another black item, these are the black acrylic hearts from Close to My Heart, which I am so glad I got. I don't need any more acrylic, you know, definitely for sure, but these are fabulous. They are great width. They're not super thick like they used to be, and there's just so many different heart designs that it's a lot of fun. But again, I just wasn't feeling this. And I'm sorry that my phone is kind of there in the screen. I will have to make sure that I push that out of the screen a little ways next time, but wasn't feeling it. I don't know. There was just something I couldn't really, I didn't like the way the clusters were kind of ending up. So I'm going to play around, and I was going to use that journaling card for journaling. That's why it's there. I felt like it pulled the blue. So I moved the Fabulous U down to that card, and I still, playing around, I just still could tell I wasn't feeling it. So I decided to go ahead and try maybe these gold thickers. I guess you could call them thickers. They're Felicity Jane, so they're not technically thickers. But I wanted to see how I liked these. Now in the video, you can't see them as well as you can on the layout itself in real life, but they worked perfectly. I feel like they really popped. They looked good. I don't know. And I had more, and using them up is never a bad thing. So I was okay with using them up as well. Of course, I go down to do the title, You Are Fabulous, and I don't have a U. And so then I play around with the title a little more, and I think this was another day, I believe, but I was still chatting with a friend, but we decided Simply Fabulous would be a really good title. So I went ahead and you can see I have that little thicker alignment tool. I have it on there just to kind of see where I want the title to go and how I want it to look. And I'm liking the gold a lot more. Now you might notice too, I actually even went and took up all of the black peel-offs. Luckily for me, they actually came up because I hadn't pushed them down too hard yet. I was really worried when I first started pulling them up. There is a couple spots where it tore a little bit, but since I put the gold peel-offs on top of those, it ended up working out just fine. So here are some pages I took of my gold. These are kind of what I guess you would call my sticker binders or my ephemeric binders. I have not done a video about those. I do plan to do one. I just haven't had time. But I put everything that's gold in the gold. If it's got any tiny bit of gold, it goes with the gold. So I pulled some of those out, and I even added those banner stickers that I was talking about in the last video that have like the eyelet above them. And I just decided to kind of hang them up there. And that's a different cluster for me because normally I feel like they don't have anything they're hanging from. But I think since there's 3 of them together, it works out really well. So not only did I get a lot of this Felicity Jane collection used up, but I definitely got you can see I'm pulling different gold items out of my binder. So it worked out really good, and I'm glad that I switched to the gold. No problems with the black. I just really like the way that the gold was kind of feeling, the way, the look, the feel. I feel like it just kind of maybe goes with her skin color a little bit more in the photos too. I don't know, maybe her blonde hair. But yeah, so that's what I ended up doing. And I absolutely love how this layout turned out. And I love the fact that I was able to get a double page layout with a Felicity Jane collection, because that's not always easy to do. But I think because of the sizes of the papers that I cut them to, it worked out pretty well. So I am going to try to add in some of these circles. I don't think that I get any of those added in. I don't know what it was about those circles. As much as I love them, they were pretty hard to use. So I'm going to glue everything down off camera. Here are a couple of still shot photos. I hope you guys like this layout. I'm really happy with how it turned out. And like I said, I believe that this is the last layout I get with this collection. I did add some white acrylic hearts that are from Close to My Heart. So those are in a couple clusters, and also some sequins. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.